Hi guys, it's me, Maddie again, and this is Blair. She's actually sleeping right now, so it's kind of in the middle of the daytime. So I'll go ahead and keep her in there while I talk about what we're going to talk about today. And we're actually going to do 3 videos inside of 1 video, so we'll see how this works out. So what we're going to talk about today is the basic information about hedgehogs, the reason why you might want a hedgehog, and the reasons why you might not want a hedgehog. So let's get to it. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you beforehand, I'm going to be looking over here a lot because these are my notes. I have a piece of paper and on top of the Sterilite bin. I'm so legit. Okay, so the first thing we need to talk about is the lifespan. Hedgehogs live the average about 4 to 7 years. They are actually prone to a lot more illnesses than, say, a guinea pig or a rabbit. But I've known some hedgehogs that will live 9 to 10 years. So it really depends on the hedgehog you get, how it was bred, what food it eats, and all that stuff, and how you treat them. The next thing is what they eat. The thing about hedgehogs, there really isn't like a holy grail, like, oh my gosh, this is the diet that your hedgehog needs to have, because it really hasn't been perfected yet. No one really knows the correct way. I mean, there's a lot of correct ways, but no one knows the perfect way, because there's so many. I actually feed her Purina One kitten food, because that's what the breeder suggested that we use, and that's what she was grown up on, and we didn't want to change her, so we're just using that. And for snacks, she likes to have scrambled eggs and mealworms and bugs and crickets and all that nasty stuff that you don't want to have in your house. But I mean, it's worth it, I guess. And I'll go ahead, I'll post a video about the exact diet, because there's actually a lot of stuff that go into it. So I'll just move on, so this video won't be very long. Exercise. These things exercise a lot. They run 6 to 10 miles a night. And I have a wheel, and you have to have a wheel. It's kind of necessary to have a wheel. There's a lot of people on YouTube that I've looked at their cages, and they do not have a wheel, and I think that's not very right for hedgehogs, because in the nighttime, that's how they look for their food in the nighttime, and so we want to keep it just like what they would do in the wild, and just leaving it in there, that's not right. So you have to get a wheel, and up there, I'll show you. You have to get, you don't have to get it, but there's a ball, and that is my sister's hamster ball, but the ones that you want to get for the hedgehog is about this big, and they just love rolling on that. Okay, so I'll go to the next one, sleeping habits. One thing that you really have to be consistent, that you have to know, is that they are nocturnal, so they'll wake up maybe about 11:30 at night, and then go to sleep around 7:30 in the morning. So you really gotta be a night owl if you want to even see these. But you see, Blair is kind of a baby, so she sleeps whenever she wants. So it's about 4:30, and she is just going to bed. So it really depends on which hedgehog you get again. The next thing is breeding. Yeah, they're animals. Put a male and female in there, and they'll have babies. Yeah, so you want to do that, because if you're not licensed, you can't sell them or anything. And I just think about that. A lot of people have asked me, just text me or ask me, some of my friends, which one is better to have, a male or a female. I really can't tell you that, because I have seen both males and females, and I love them to death both. They both have different personalities. The males can actually be a little bit more aggressive, and they want to be wild a lot, and the females usually sleep a lot. But I've actually seen cross versa, so you really can't tell. Okay, so that was the end of video 1, and now we're going to go into video 2. within the first video. Okay, so the next one is reasons why you want a hedgehog. These guys are amazing little animals. Like, this is like my personality completely, because I knew that I didn't want to get like a hamster or a guinea pig or a rabbit, because those are ordinary and everyone else has them. But they're actually really good and they're worth it. And the second thing is, it doesn't take a lot to care for them. They're really low animals. They don't need very much things to live. They're not really high maintenance once you start get going and stuff. The next thing is, hedgehogs actually, they don't bite. The only reason that they would bite is if they were hand-fed as a baby, or if you're hurting them, or if they're upset about something, then they will bite. My breeder that I got her from, she's been breeding for a very long time, and she's only had one bite her, and that was because she was hand-fed because something happened to the mom. The next thing is, if you're looking for a bonding animal, this is good. I keep her in this bonding pouch, and I carry her around, and she literally does not want to leave my side. And they're such loving animals. But they have to love in a different way, and they usually don't show affection. But if they just will let you pet them with their clothes down, they probably love you. Because they will have their clothes up if they don't, trust me. Okay, now, third video in the first video. Is that confusing? I don't know. Okay, the next one is why you don't want a hedgehog. Don't want a hedgehog, and maybe that's the drawback for the hedgehog. These things are kind of expensive, considering that they're about as big as a softball. They're pretty expensive. I paid $160 for mine, but then you have to consider that. You have to consider that. Sorry, that's my cousin. You have to consider that they need equipment and supplies and stuff, and sometimes that can be really pricey. The next thing is they kind of have a picky diet. They can't just have just cat food, or just something else, or just a little bit of something else. You gotta throw everything in the pot for them to be healthy. And another thing is they eat bugs. They're omnivores, and so they eat bugs in the wild, and they eat slugs and snakes and all the nasty stuff that you don't want to handle. And trust me, I'm like that, and I really do not want bugs in the house, but kind of gotta suck it up and knuckle down and get them. So I never thought that I would have freeze-dried mealworms in my room, but I do, and it's all because of this little girl. So if you're kind of squirmy like me, and you don't think you want to handle that, then you might not want a hedgehog, because they kind of have to have that kind of stuff. The next one is, they're covered with quills. I'm not sure if y'all knew that, but they're called hedgehogs, so they have quills, and they're not really good with babies or young children, because they're going to want to pet their face and all this stuff, and if they spike up, then they're never going to want to pet it again. Because it took me a long time for me to pick it back up when it spiked me and poked the crap out of me. But, I got through it. But, I don't know, I really wouldn't suggest it to young kids. And plus, if you have a bedtime, if they have a bedtime, say they go to bed at 8:30 and they wake up around 6:30 to go to school, they're really not going to have time to pet their hedgehog or even socialize it or anything. And then it's going to get really mean because it's not used to human interaction. And so that was the basic drawbacks, why you want a hedgehog, and the basic information about hedgehogs. And I just want to say I'm not a vet, I'm not an expert, I'm just a happy hedgehog owner giving you some tips and tricks and stuff about hedgehogs so you can make your experience with hedgehogs a little bit better. I just want to say, please subscribe to me and my friend Julianne. She actually does not have a hedgehog, but she's been with me ever since I've got mine. We have been literally in my room looking up information for the past 3 months. And so that's actually my camera person. So please subscribe and watch her videos too. I'm in some of her videos and she's in some of my videos. It is Julianne's Hedgehogs. I know. Can't forget that. I will link it in the bottom bar below. And if we don't answer any of your questions, please leave a comment in the box below, because we want to make this a series, and we are going to do more like how to handle a hedgehog, what kind of cage you need, stuff like that. But if you need a specific video like right then we will make that video for you. And I just want to say, one of the hedgehog breeders kind of that are in YouTube that really helped me when I was deciding about my hedgehog is this lady. Her name is Amanda, and her YouTube channel is Quality Quills, and I will link her in the bottom of the description below because she really helped me, and she has some really good YouTube videos about hedgehogs. And I just want to say thank you, and please subscribe again.